Hi everyone, this is Gideon Fiddleside, managing editor of PR Week magazine. I am in beautiful Northwest Arkansas today, and I am very, very fortunate to be joined by David Tovar, the VP of Corporate Communications at this little company called Wal-Mart. As you can see, we're in their corporate headquarters, which is really, really exciting. Dave, thanks so much for spending some time with me today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Glad to be here.
Excellent. It's been a really, really terrific time here in Bentonville, Fayetteville, Rogers, the whole Northwest Arkansas corridor here. And we just want to talk to Dave a little bit about some of the amazing branding things that Wal-Mart has been working on. So, Dave, I'm going to start with a really, really simple question, but I'm curious what your answer would be. How would Dave Tovar define Wal-Mart's brand?
Well, first of all, thanks, Gideon. I appreciate the time, and glad you're here in Northwest Arkansas.
My pleasure.
I think it's right behind us on the wall here. I think at Walmart we save people money so they can live better. Very simple, very straightforward. Actually came from Sam Walton and something that he said a few years before he died. But that's really what we stand for. We try to save people money. The way we do that is by offering everyday low prices in our stores. And the way we enable everyday low prices in our stores is by operating our business at everyday low cost. We offer a broad assortment of great merchandise, and when we combine those two things, hopefully we allow our customers to live better. And living better for people can mean lots of different things for lots of different people. For me, as a shopper at Walmart, I like when I hear some of the things we're doing around environmental sustainability. For other people, it might be getting a $5 movie in one of our $5 DVD bins,
Sure.
And then going and get a $1 bag of microwavable popcorn and a 2-liter bottle of soda, and for about $6.50, they can have family movie night at home on Friday night with their family in a very affordable and inexpensive way. So it means lots of things to lots of people, but it's a simple concept. It's hard to execute. But when we do, we can really have an impact on millions of people's lives across not only the U.S., but across the world.
That's a really, really great segue for the next thing I wanted to ask you about. Walmart is obviously one of the biggest companies in the world, maybe the biggest actually, and but you've done an amazing job of really, really getting into your local consumer and really, really kind of maintaining that small town touch with local consumers despite being this huge global brand. How do you think Walmart has succeeded in doing that?
Yeah, I really think it comes down to putting the customer at the center of everything you do. And the way we approach it is one customer at a time, one store at a time, one Walmart associate at a time, and really listening to customers. The fact is, people, when they think about Walmart, they think about their local Walmart, the store where they shop. And here in the U.S., 90% of the population shops at a Walmart. And so, but they don't think about Bentonville, Arkansas, and Northwest Arkansas. That, like you, they probably hadn't been here before. And so
Definitely come visit.
But they definitely think about their store where they shop. And so our associates, all 1.4 million of them across the U.S., become the biggest brand ambassadors that we have. And so I think there has to be a connection between your brand attributes, your culture as a company, the values that you hold so dearly as a company, and how you translate that to your associates, because for us, those are the ones that are interacting with our customers every single day. So that's what we work towards, is really trying to generate our brand through our associates at the stores and translate that to the customers. At the end of the day, what we found, whether you're in Northwest Arkansas, whether you're in Shanghai, China, whether you're in Sao Paulo, Brazil, customers are very similar. They care about low prices, they care about value, they care about quality products, and they care about a good shopping experience. And so cultures may be different. You may offer a different merchandising mix in all those different stores, and you certainly should in order to tailor it for that audience. But at the core, the customer cares about those things. And those are the things that we try to consistently replicate across all of our 10,000 stores across the world.
Right. It's interesting to talk about the 10,000 stores across the world, because as I was just before I came up to visit you here today, I was noticing downstairs when you enter it has a timeline of Walmart's history, and I was noticing that in 1989 it was talking about how you now have stores in 29 states. 23 years later, which is not a lot of time, you're in. Obviously, would it be fair to say you're almost in every state now?
We are in every state.
Right. And
we're also in 27 countries.
Amazing.
So from 29 states to 27 countries
now. And a lot of those countries have unique, extremely different types of communications tactics. And you're having some really, really great success internationally. But how have you tailored your strategies on an international level while still maintaining the brand consistency that's so important to a company like yours?
Yeah, I think I'll give you a couple of examples. One is, you know, the tactics may change depending on the market, and as I said earlier, they should. But what we found is that if you stick to that core principle of everyday low prices, explaining how we get there through everyday low costs, and talking about the broad assortment of great merchandise you have, it really resonates no matter where you are in the world. Take Japan, for example. Japan really, in the retail market there, really operates in a high-low pricing strategy, which is they have their baseline price, but then they offer, which are generally higher than what you find at a Walmart, but then they offer specials through their weekly circulars to entice customers to come in. At Walmart, we have an everyday low price philosophy, so it doesn't matter, whenever you come in, that's the price of the item, and it's for everybody. You don't need coupons, there's no gimmicks, there's none of those kinds of things. Japan is really a high-low pricing strategy as a country. We went in and started implementing a few years ago our everyday low price philosophy there after for years trying to run a high-low business there, which we were very unsuccessful. Since we put in our everyday low price model there, the customer is really resonating with them, and we've had now 4 or 5 consecutive quarters of positive comps in Japan. So it's really taking hold, but it's communicating that to customers because at first they don't understand it. But what we realize is that over time they understand the trust. They come to us because they know that consistently we're going to have the products that they want at the kind of prices they want. We'll have them on the shelf for them. They can have a good experience in the stores. They can have a clean store. They can have friendly customer service and associates while they're there, and it overall leads to a great customer experience. And that's some of the things that we try to do consistently. Doesn't matter where we are in the world.
Interesting. Another thing that I know that you guys have been doing consistently is your social media efforts. I know you've had some really good success with them. Somewhere like around last year, I believe you had 3,500 Facebook pages that you started for individual locations across the country, I believe. And I also know that you're doing this really cool campaign with Pitbull. So I know social media is an extremely important part of Walmart's philosophy. If you can, in a nutshell, if you could sort of discuss what Walmart's social media strategy is.
Yeah, sure. I think in the past, say in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, really brands were in control. And so if you think about, I don't know if you watch Mad Men, but it's a great example where, the communication at the time is really one way. It's driven from the brands to the consumer, and then you want the consumer to act on whatever that message is. Now it's totally flipped around. The consumer is in complete control. They have access to what they want, when they want it. They pick what they choose to watch, when they watch it, where they watch it, how they watch it. They know they can look up prices in just about anything now. They can research products, get information. They can get information from their friends. And so we've really tried to embrace that because if you don't, I think you're going to be a brand that really struggles in the future. And so at Walmart, we've taken that, and in today's era, I think access to big data, analytics, and figuring out how you can decipher all that information into usable things that you can implement tactics against is now possible where it wasn't in the past. And so we try to use that very data-driven approach, try to listen intently, and then try to take actionable steps to serve customers. So it involves listening, and I think it's on both proactive and reactive. On the reactive side, clearly when there's any kind of customer service issues, you have to act. You have to be responsive. You have to weigh into the conversation. You may not solve the problem to the full extent of the customer. You may not solve their issue, but 9 times out of 10, I think most people would appreciate at least being heard. And hopefully over time, if you see that as an issue, you'll make some changes to your business so that you don't have to deal with those issues in the future. On the proactive side, there's plenty of opportunities where people are on social media talking about they're researching this product or that product, or they might be in the market for a big screen TV or an Apple iPad or something like that, and we see that, and we can jump into the conversation and talk about how you can get at Walmart lower than the competition. So we try to use it, in those ways. Use the channels effectively. Stay on top of what are the trends regarding different channels, but really use great content to push that out to consumers, because that's what they're interested in.
Terrific. Obviously, in the short amount of time I just spent with you, everyone can tell that Dave, being the VP of Corporate Comms at a company of this size and stature, is a very, very busy man. So I really, really thank you for taking the few minutes that you did to speak with me today. And thank you all for watching today, and I will see you soon.